Kelly. So let's talk about Donald Trump and his transition team. What strikes you the most? What are you looking for here?
Well, I think it's fascinating that he reached out to Mitt Romney, don't you?
Yeah.
I mean, what a thing to do. That's a great gesture by Donald Trump because they could not, Mitt Romney could not have ripped on Donald Trump any more than he did. So clearly he's sending a signal, right, that he can let grudges go. He can let bygones be bygones, and I saw that in my case, too, for the record, with Donald Trump, eventually. And I think that will come as a delight to most Republicans.
You think he'll do that with the media?
No.
Because I was talking to Dan Rather last night, and we were mentioning you when you said that journalists were going to have to steal their spines because he's had such an adversarial relationship during this campaign and really calling out members of the media, and you don't think that'll change, even though he's reaching out to people like Mitt Romney?
No, I don't, because I think Trump really does have a disdain for the media, and I also think, as a strategy, he is hoping to discredit the media in a way that will render any criticism of him, you know, unnecessary, unbelievable, not believable. And so if he can paint all of us with this wide brush of we're disgusting and we're scum and we're not to be trusted, then it doesn't really matter what we report or what we write, because we're scum and we're disgusting and we're not to be believed. So I think it's a strategy of his. I also think he really gets upset when he sees negative press, even though he generates it intentionally in a way, right? But I do think we're going to have to steal our spines, because I think it's only just begun.
Yeah. Sometimes you're like a man or woman on an island, because I see you, you know, you're, I don't know what your political beliefs are, and you don't know mine. People are often wrong about what they think I am, and I think it's probably the same with you. And I wonder how you are dealing with the guys over at Fox News, because you say they're your friends, but they often criticize you.
Well,
how do you deal with that?
I'm not friends with everybody. It's like a family. You know, you've got your family members who you love, and then you have, like, your uncle who you just try to, like, avoid at the Christmas dinner table. But for the most part, I love my colleagues at Fox News, and I've developed a lot of really close friendships. And those guys have been shoulder to shoulder with me through a lot.
Is it tough for some of the guys who've been there forever to see a woman now becoming, or who is the face of Fox News now? Is that tough for them, you think?
I don't know.
Come on,
I'd like to believe not. I mean, listen, I'll say this, just in my positions in various jobs in life, I do think as a woman it's easier when you're coming up the ranks than when you're at the top. Yeah. I think when you're aspiring to power, men in power have an easier time with you than once you've reached it, and you want to exercise it, and you want to be seen, and you do act as somebody who has it. And that's just a reality of 2016 America. And, you know, it's my reality, too, to some extent.
So we're more alike, probably, than you realize, because I was bullied a bit in high school, and then I also believe that adversity shapes and forms you, and I would take none of that back.
Right.
And you write in your book, and also your father died at a young age, and we also talked about that as well. And I wondered if we would ever see happiness again, and you asked your mom that on the night your father died, and she said yes, and so will you.
I absolutely will, and have. You know, I mean, part of the unfortunate things about having so much news in my book is the core of the book has been lost a little bit in the first couple of days of PR. And what I'm trying to say in this book is a small-town girl from upstate New York makes it to the top of the news business and has a lot of bumps and bruises along the way, just like anybody else, right? I was badly bullied. I lost my dad at a young age. I suffered through considerable malaise. I got a divorce. I had some self-doubts. I struggled to make friends. I was heavy. I had bad skin. I had acne. It was like all these things, right? I'm telling, trust me. But I worked hard, Don, and then I worked even harder, professionally and personally, to pull myself out of it. And that's how I emerged, I think, stronger, and I think everyone can do it. Like, I don't want anybody looking at you or me and thinking, they got it made, they probably had a connection, they probably sailed in or got lucky. We're lucky to be here in these jobs, but luck is only a small part of it. It's hard work and tenacity and the refusal to settle for less.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
This was a pleasure.
Me too. For me too.
Thank you. The book is called Settle for More. Megyn Kelly, everyone. We'll be right back.
Lots of love.